Hey, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment down below. Let me know where y'all from and who you a fan of, man. So Yo Gotti did it. He sold CMG. He's trying to get rid of it because he wants to clear his name out from underneath it in case the whole entire RICO hits Memphis and CMG. Because of the stuff Black Youngster was already doing, because of what Moneybagg Yo and his Bentley was doing in front of that cookie shop where Dolph was, and the whole situation with all those other people that was involved around CMG for the countless other times that they try to run up on Dolph over and over again. Well, all that is coming back to basically haunt Yo Gotti because it made a track record to where CMG was pinpointed and basically showed themselves as being present in every single one of those situations. And that just basically has RICO written all over it because that's exactly what they use. Other than using the lyrics against them, they can also use times where people who worked for certain CMGs in certain places or the label, whatnot, right? If they were people from the label at all of these places and they involved in altercations and was talked to by the peoples and all of that and got turned in, and Big Jook told on them to where he said that it was somebody from CMG who already tried running up on Dolph with the whole Charlotte 100 shots thing. And then that way, now that they figured it out, the helicopters are swooping down and they're trying to grab Yo Gotti right now because of the fact that they already know that it was a whole plot by CMG to be hating on him. And then they took him down to the fact where whenever all those instances happened with Dolph, it was always somebody from CMG in the background trying to get away and run off, and they ended up getting caught, or the prints came back to them, or somebody in the interrogation room ended up mentioning them in the name and writing them down in the statement. And so now as we speak, CMG is basically getting looked at by the feds, and like I said, they circling around Yo Gotti's estate right now trying to figure out exactly where they're going to come into and serve the papers at, because now they have a whole situation at hand where they know who's going to be involved in the RICO and what CMG had to play in at the hands of what happened to young Dolph. And so a lot of people, they've been talking about all of this alleged stuff that people have been mentioning. I just mentioned right there, everything alleged. And what's going on is that basically since Big Jook, which is Yo Gotti's brother, told and said that he was there, then it put somebody from CMG exactly in the coordinates pinpointed to where now they have no choice but to go through with charging them because of the fact that, A, they already said it themselves. Like Big Jook said it at his own mouth. Straight drop, all of them people who got caught from CMG, they said it out their own mouth. So they gave up themselves. They gave up their own info. This is info coming from them. The sources are telling us that they all told, and everything that you guys been hearing is basically leaking out from them telling it in the interrogation room first. And then it just so happens to be that Memphis is a small town, and the people who work in the interrogation room to bring the snacks in, when the people tell, they bring in the snacks and the food and all that. Well, the food worker, the DoorDash driver, heard exactly what Big Jook and Straight Drop told about how Yo Gotti and the Dolph situation is connected. And so the DoorDash driver, once they dropped the food off and got a $10 tip from the lieutenant and the AD, the DA, they made sure to get out of there quick, and they instantly went and basically FaceTimed all of their homies in their clique. And they went and they were, later on, they went to a Memphis juking party, and that's when everybody started figuring out in the streets of Memphis, and Orange Mound party figured out exactly what had happened because the DoorDash driver went there and basically seen and heard the people in the interrogation room telling on CMG, which they're a part of CMG themselves. So that means they told on their own homies. So all of the loyalty, all of the riding around with Yo Gotti and the fake this and that, the fake love they were showing each other, it went all out the window because at the end of the day, they told on each other. And that's why Black Youngster was hiding, because Sean Dale told him, he said, look, Black Youngster, you my best friend. So he had to tell him that they're going to take the deals. They're going to take the plea offer and basically give up and cooperate with them in order for them to be able to get out and see their families once again, because they can't risk another man's mistake to cost them 85 years behind the slammer doing hard time because you wanted to be part of CMG or you wanted to be a part of a certain group, allegedly, right? And things went sour and people told and fingers were pointed, and you can't take none of that back because you can't rewind time. You cannot rewind time and go back and undo joining them and going through with the hits and go riding in the car on the way. And when they handed you the ski mask and they told you to hop up inside the two-door and go and take off, and you know, at all holes bar, it's no going back from that, and they can't get that situation, and they can't get that time back either. And so that's why you have to learn from all of this and basically realize that they were all making a mistake trying to hate on Dolph. One thing you guys got to understand is that it's a lot of Dolph supporters out there. I know all of y'all people who support young Dolph are going to put the dolphin emoji in the comment section. And simply because people still are claiming and basically saying that Dolph is the king of Memphis, and it's no way of changing that unless somebody from his crew does something to, you know, actually memorialize and represent him in such a way where they pass Dolph. But it's not going to happen because, like I said, there's so much talent coming out of Memphis, and Memphis is a small town. They already done got used to Dolph being the person who came out and was really showing it the way that it was supposed to be done in the South and Southern hospitality and whatnot, right? And it was the other group who started hating on him because he didn't want to join them. So you can't really hate on a man for trying to have his own ownership and basically trying to make his own money. And so with all that being said, y'all got to listen to this whole thing and go back and binge watch all the videos, man. Because the one thing right now that they talking about in Memphis is the fact that if the person is telling is from CMG, then when are they going to come and sweep and get them all? Like, when is it all going to happen? Because they're saying that it's the same situation as Gunna, Thug, YSL, and that whole entire thing because of the fact that they were using the whole existence of the label as being a street crew. And that's why you can't mix the two. You have to separate business and, you know, what you do in the streets and what you do for fun and all of that. Business and friendship and the streets and all that cannot mix, because at the end of the day, if you got the people who is close to you knowing exactly what you do in the streets, then if anything happens, they gonna basically go to them to get the cooperation and the info on you. And if you got anything legit going on, you can't mix that in with the dirty business. That's why a lot of people, they don't understand why making a label that's a whole street crew, and then you try to turn it into you're playing hybrid between street crew and between a real music company. So you have to pick a side, basically, because if you pick both, that's where they get you for the RICO. Because then they're gonna be coming after the bread that you got from the whole music company, and they're gonna come and charge you for the stuff you've been doing in the streets. You see how it works? So if you just stay as a regular business, as a regular company, and stay out of all the street stuff, that's a better situation going forward, because then it's gonna allow you to actually be able to make a living for generational wealth and be able to provide for your family and be able to actually sleep at night knowing that you're doing everything by the book and legit. That's why that is always the better move to go. That way you can't get wrapped up in the RICO ever. So leave all the street stuff alone, leave that alone, and just stick to doing things as a real business head honcho. Like, you got to boss up at some point and realize that you got to leave all life alone and move into positivity and progressive. And if it's not progressing you to your goals, and if it's not being positive and bringing the certain type of energy that you need to get in what you put out, you know, then basically you have to, you know, drop that bad habits and get into the better ones that's going to actually manifest you a better successful situation. And with all that being said, y'all got to understand to do a couple things, and that's to subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment down below, let me know where y'all from and who you a fan of, and I'm going to catch you on the next big breaking news update. I'll see you there.